CBS 2 News.
Overcoming the drought, how vegetable farmers are still thriving during a tough season. But first, we have a developing story out of Cedar Rapids this noon hour. Police say a couple tried to abduct a 5-year-old boy on Tuesday night. Now, the boy's father says a white Chevy Astro van pulled up while the boy was riding his bicycle in the 7500 block of Kirkwood Boulevard. A man jumped out and grabbed the boy while a woman grabbed the bike. The boy's father yelled at them from his motorcycle, and then he says they dropped the bike and the boy and took off. Now, we do have a description of the 3 suspects and additional details. Go ahead and head to kgan.com to find those, and we will keep on this one all day with the latest. Now, it's a tough growing season for farmers out there. Corn and beans are turning brown in the fields, sending prices up on the markets even higher every day. But for local vegetable farmers, their biggest problem is keeping up with the crops. CBS 2's Josh Scheinblum talks to a Mount Vernon farmer who's staying busy bringing in the crops.
Josh Scheinblum, CBS 2 News.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Agriculture lists 46% of Iowa's corn crop in poor or very poor condition. But Iowa City is helping their farmers and businesses deal with the drought. The city's providing 2 water fill stations, one at the bus barn on Riverside Drive and the other at a recycling center on South Scott Boulevard. The water is available to fill tank trucks for watering trees and landscaping plants. A 50-cent token will get you about 200 gallons of water. Now, it's important to note, though, this water should not be used for drinking or cooking food. We now know which vendors that'll bring local foods year-round to the City of 5 Seasons coming up. The New Bow City Market yesterday announced its roster of anchor merchants. Now, that includes a long list of growers and food artisans, including La Reina and the Vernon Inn, as well as Wallace Farms. The market is currently under construction on 3rd Street Southeast, and it's set to open October 27th. We're heading for a cool-off and a chance of rain this weekend. Justin Roberts has more details with the first morning forecast.
Well, Brian, it is a little warm out there now, and we're going to eventually find some cooler weather.
Thanks, Justin. Now, flags will be lowered this weekend for an Iowa soldier. Cascade native Sergeant Michael Ristow died while serving in Afghanistan. Flags on state buildings will be lowered Friday evening and remain so through the weekend. A vehicle he was riding in was hit by an improvised explosive. Ristow leaves a wife and 2 sons behind. A memorial service will be held on Saturday at the Cascade City Park. A Johnson County man is accused of sexually abusing a child. Johnson County deputies say 43-year-old Stephen Stumbo talked the 17-year-old boy into taking off his clothes before he was tied up and assaulted. This photo is from the Iowa Sex Offender Registry, where Stumbo is listed for several counts from 1991. He faces 2 counts now of 3rd-degree sexual abuse. A slight lead for the incumbent in Vote 2012. A new poll puts President Obama leading Mitt Romney in 3 battleground states. Tara Mergener is at the White House with the latest on the race for the president.
President Obama is
Now, the new poll surveyed about 3,500 likely voters between July 24th and July 30th. Well, the Iowa Lottery is doing brisk business, and that's helping the state as well. The lottery sold nearly $311 million in tickets during the 2012 fiscal year. That's up more than 14% over the previous year. Now, prizes for the state also hit a record $182.4 million. That money means a big boost for the state budget, a tourism program, and funding a trust fund for veterans in the state. We are now less than 8 days away from the start of the Iowa State Fair, and check it out, the butter cow is already complete. All 500 pounds of her, but that's not the only dairy sculpture that will draw a huge crowd this year. Artist Sarah Pratt is also working on a Snow White and the 7 Dwarves sculpture. She says it's a treat to be able to bring that fairy tale to life. In all, Sarah says she plans to use 1,200 pounds of butter.
Everyone has a different image of what Snow White should be or is right now today, and so I've kind of just taken my memories and just different images and made it my own a little bit.
That is a lot of dairy. Now, you can check out the butter cow and the Snow White in person when the fair opens next Thursday, August 9th. And now it's time to choose your news. We want to know which news story you want to see tonight at 5. Is it the tallest American gets free shoes, mermaid visits swimming pool, or Microsoft creates robot boss? Vote on our Facebook page, KGAN CBS 2, and we'll run the story you choose tonight at 5. Throwing the games, the Olympic athletes that got kicked out of the London Olympics and why officials sent them packing. Plus, getting back to work, the good news for American workers on Wall Street coming in this morning.
Oh, weather-wise, it was a warm July, as we all know.
All right, so we're going to leave you today with a new meaning to the word carpooling. A driver in Brockton, Massachusetts lost control of his camper this morning, and the 30-foot RV crashed through a fence and didn't stop until it crashed into that swimming pool. The driver managed to get out safely, but it's going to take a lot more work to get the actual RV out, and I think I'm just glad no one was in that pool.
Yeah, I mean, usually you want an RV with a pool in it. You don't want a pool with an RV in it.
Yeah.
It's a lot messier that way.
Yeah, not quite a good combo. But,
luckily, it wasn't a smaller pool, or wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I would just see the aerial video. I'm like, what is it? Oh, that's an RV. That's what that is.
At least the RV had room to crash into.
There you go, folks up in Winnebago, in Featherlight, who make those trailers. There you go. Why don't you make an RV with a pool in it?
There we go.
Let's take a look at weather-wise. Anybody wants to be near a pool right now. Tonight, we have a sturgeon moon, if you are a fisherman or woman, because sturgeon are readily caught this time of year, and we are actually on par for 2 full moons this month, which means we could actually see a blue moon. And you thought it was just a campy song back from the 50s. No, it's actually an astrological thing. So we're looking for that August. We are going to have warmer temps today and tomorrow. We're in the 80s now. And everything, all those signs pointing to a warmer, above normal temperature-wise August. So it's already starting. We'll kind of see how it all shapes out over the next 29 days.
Well, thank you, Justin, and thank you for joining us. We'll be back at 5 with a backyard barbecue. Have a good day.